start in child's pose today. Just really open the lower back. So you're going to come and go, relaxing your forehead into the mat, resting your brain. And then as you breathe out, we're going to scoop that low belly, tip your tailbone down between the heels, and really, we'll take 2 more breaths. Sometimes it's interesting to bend the elbows, bringing the palms together. That's in those triceps. And just feel safe. And then we'll slowly inhale. Come on, stretch our feet. So we're going to extend the right leg back, press through the ball of that right foot, and really open your calf, lifting the low belly up, keeping your chest nice and wide. Just do 1 more breath, and then change legs. So extending, reaching through the left heel, pressing the ball of that right foot down. And then notice if you shift it over to the right hand, press through both. We'll come back into table and take our cat-cow. Exhale, round. Inhale, and you can move as slowly as you feel ready for, or as quickly, but starting to stoke that fire, that tapas in the belly, in the core muscles. Good. Really letting that head dangle in the cat tilt. Trying to draw those shoulder blades down away from the ears and onto the back in the cow tilt. And we'll come back into table. Tuck both balls of the feet under and take downward dog. Let's just bend 1 knee at a time. Stretching that opposite heel down. Good. And then a few breaths in your dog pose, really lifting out of the lower back. So press with the hands, reach your chest back. And then we're going to inhale, come on into plank today. So you could take plank on the balls of the feet or knees down if you need to. But we'll hold 1 more breath, reaching out of the top of the head and both heels. Exhale all the way down. Turn your feet over and just roll those shoulder blades up, back, and down a couple times, getting the upper back nice and warm. We'll press into your hands. Inhale, low cobra. And let's go ahead and pick up 1 hand. Good, you guys. I love seeing your faces. It's great. Pick up your other hand. 1 more breath. Ease your neck. Exhale, release. And let's come back into table. And again, into child's pose. We'll swirl through those wrists. Nice. Let's inhale back into table and downward dog. So we're going to do that flow 1 more time, but this time instead of cobra, we'll work through our upward dog to downward dog. Inhale, glide into your plank. Exhale, lower to hover. Inhale, upward dog. And we'll stay here for just a couple breaths. You can move your head around, drawing those shoulders down. Good. And then when you're ready, maybe rolling over the feet, downward dog. And take any movement in dog that would feel good. You might sweep a leg up or add a twist. Or if your back is still kind of grumpy this morning, maybe bend your knees. Or a twist, you can move the heels to the side, whatever feels good. Last full breath out. We'll start to walk your feet up towards your hands. And let's keep the knees bent. Reach for the back of the calves and pull yourself into Uttanasana. Take 2 more big breaths out, squeezing in, just letting that head release. Good, and then we'll let go of the calves. Gently straighten your legs all the way. And we'll start to curl up. Good, coming all the way up. And just take any movement that feels good. We're gonna come into mountain and flow through a sun salute A and B. I gotta get clipped on here, sorry. Ooh. Good. Okay, so coming up to the top, just waiting for the day when I trip over some of these wires. You guys don't know this about me, but I'm very, very clumsy. I'm a dancer and I can concentrate when I'm moving, but when I'm not, I always have accidents. So let's come up to the top, being mindful of our movement. We'll do 1A, 1B back to get a little heat going. So starting in mountain, maybe setting your intention for your day or your practice. We'll inhale, reach out to come up. Feel those back muscles. Exhale, hinge. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, stepping back, plank or table, breathing out. You know your sequence, feeling that heart open, gorgeous. Donna, nice. Robin, we'll come back up in one piece. 3 breaths in downward dog. Maybe just look at those hands and feet, see that they're symmetrical, right to left. After your 3rd breath out, we'll come on up. Inhale, halfway up. Really feel belly and back working together, bringing you up in one piece. Good, right into our B, Utkatasana. Inhale. Exhale, flow forward. Inhale, leading with the crown. We'll either jump back or step back to plank to hover. Inhale, upward dog. Good, rolling over the feet, downward dog. Right leg's gonna come all the way up. Sweeping up Virabhadrasana. We're gonna hold an extra breath here just to really lift off the hips. Exhale, good. Nice, and you're just staying with your own rhythm here. You can slow it down. Left leg. Planting those feet so you're stable, good. Lifting one extra breath. Pointing that tailbone straight down. Exhale. And then 3 breaths, downward dog or half dog. Good, feeling that space in those very lowest vertebrae, trying to separate them by reaching the tailbone up. We'll look up, step or hop up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Bend your knees. We're going to come back into chair and hold chair for 1 extra breath. Sending that tailbone down, upper arms back. We'll exhale, stand. Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to get into our balancing. I smell a little. It does. Smells like coffee beans. I'm getting a new aroma here. So let me turn sideways. If you have access to a wall or a door, we might use that in our Warrior 3 today. So let's start in stork. And we're just gonna find that alignment in there we go. You're gonna find your ears over shoulders, over ribs, over hips. And just take the right leg up. Notice where you are today, mentally, physically, energetically. Feeling that navel in towards your back so you can feel the power of your core. 1 more breath. And if you wish, you could take the arms up. Good. And then we'll lower, second side. So just notice, balance is different every day. Where you are, with your focus. Eyes out at that horizon level. If it helps, extend the arms up so you can really activate out of the lower back. One more breath. And then we'll lower. Good. So let's go bit by bit today. We're going to start in Warrior One, again, to feel that lift. We'll tilt, and then before we take the full pose, we're going to head to the wall today, just to ground in. So let's take your right leg back and find that nice long stance in your Warrior One. Trying to square that right hip to the front, but feeling that stretch in front of the hip flexor. We'll bend the front knee, lifting the arms up. Notice if you're arching here in the low back, which you're going to do naturally because you're in a lunge, see if you can point that tailbone down. Really press through your back foot. We're going to start to tilt in one piece and just turn that back leg in. Come onto the ball of the foot. Keep reaching out of the hands and top of the head. Maybe segue a little weight out or all the weight out. Maybe extending that front leg straight. And we'll inhale, step back. Exhale, release. Yeah, just shake everything out. So right away, you can tell what's going on in the low back when you lift that leg up. Try to use your hamstring too, right under your sits bone, to find that lightness so it's not all the low back doing the work. So we're going to switcheroo. Left leg's going to step back, taking the time to get a nice long stance here. Just bending the front knee when you're ready, lifting. And I know we've done Warrior Three a lot, especially in these online or live stream classes. It's an awesome pose for working all of the muscles. Legs, back, finding that balance. Turning the back leg in, emptying, and then maybe taking that leg up. Again, lifting right under your sits bone, maybe extending the front. So that's our modification. We'll step back and release. Take a break here in Uttanasana. You could bend the knees or sway, whatever feels good. Good, and then we'll slowly curl up. Nice, okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, anybody having anything specific going on in the low back? So far, so good. And you guys have some sort of wall or something that you could hold on to. It could be the back of a couch. Let's try taking the hands to the wall or the couch first, and then we're going to take the foot today, so you really wake up that back leg. So facing your wall, we'll take the hands shoulder width, pressing through the palms, and then we're going to walk back. And we'll just take a few breaths here in this half dog shape. So I want active arms and back muscles. When you feel ready, we'll take that right leg straight out. So you don't have to worry about balancing so much. You can really pull the spine long. So I'm going to come down. You guys stay for a few more breaths. I'm just seeing. Now we have our cameras on today. Good. Wrap those low belly muscles in. Let's go ahead and bring that right leg down and try your second side. Pressing the palms, reaching through that left heel. Good. Awesome. Last two breaths. If you felt like coming away from the wall and testing your balance, it's available. And then we'll lower that left leg. Go ahead and just walk yourself towards the wall so you can curl up. Good, we'll turn around. Let's just let the arms spiral and flop. Good, and since I happen to know everybody, I know some people are watching the recording later. If it's doable, you guys have nice balance. So let's take our foot to the wall today. And this has a very strange side effect here of pushing you forward. So you really have to plug in the foot and utilize your core. This one is tricky on the balance. So you want to be about a leg's length away. We'll start with bringing that right foot behind you to the wall. So you might start with the leg bent just to see if you're too close, because we want to come into that right angle at the hips. If you're ready, add the arms. So foot is pressing. I'm a little too close. If you need to start here down just to get that energy through the legs, you can bring your hands to the mat. But it's pretty challenging to come up from there. So feel that strong leg. I'm just coming so I can see everybody's toes are pointing down. One more breath. Good. And then let's release. Isn't that hard? It's really strong. If you're feeling like your back is doing all the work, this is a great modification to really activate the glutes and the hamstrings. So let's try second side. You might have to remeasure. Left leg's gonna come up. Push your foot. And then really activate and wrap the core. Arms are reaching forward. Foot is pressing into the wall. Super strong warrior three. You need to bend that standing knee. This looks great. Toes are pointing down. One more breath. Good, and let's go ahead. Release your hands to the mat. Bring that back leg down. Take Uttanasana. Good, and then we'll slowly roll up. Okay, so those were our preparations for warrior three. So now we're gonna do it on our mat in the center. Yeah, I know it's a big load on that lower back, so we'll end up coming down in between. You won't have to lift back up. We'll go into our standing split. So let's start with your right leg back into our warrior one. Imagine that back foot at the wall. So really press through your heel. Active leg will start to tilt and move into your Virabhadrasana 3. If you're feeling fatigued here, bend that standing knee. It'll help ground you. We're just going to do 2 more breaths, pulling through that heel. Exhale, dive forward. Extend that back leg up. You feel like a little balance here. You could bring left hand to left shin or both hands to the shin. And we'll exhale, release, lower the right leg, Uttanasana. And we'll curl your back up. Good, we got one more side. Left leg's gonna step back into warrior one. We're almost through the solar phase of the practice. Lift up. I'm doing every pose with you, so I know exactly how hard it is, how fatigued maybe those hip muscles are getting. Start to tilt, turning in, launching forward for your best Virabhadrasana 3 ever. Hug that belly button towards the lower back. When you're ready, dive into your standing split. Maybe checking out that balance. Maybe really different, right to left. Good, and we'll lower the top leg. Come into Uttanasana. Nice, and we're really gonna stretch that lower back. So let's bring hands to the mat, step right back into downward dog. And maybe take downward dog with bent knees. One more breath. We'll exhale, knees to the mat. Let's come into half dog. We're gonna move into your shoulders here. So just check it out. Maybe chin comes down or forehead. Taking a couple soft breaths here. Good, and we'll go ahead and move hips to heels. Any child's pose that would feel good. And just start to segue into a slower breath. Don't have to worry about balancing. You can really let your weight drop. And we'll go ahead and bring your hands under your shoulders. Slowly press up into table. So we know from sitting, it makes our lower back and our hips really tight. So if you're doing a lot of sitting these days, you might be feeling some new sensations in that low back. Awesome pose too for strengthening the core, that warrior three. So that is enough of that for today. I'm just doing gentle cat tilt to release down there. We're gonna try on our dolphin pose, maybe with some variations today. So let's measure elbows to the mat, reach for your opposite elbows. That's as wide as we want the elbows to get. Open the forearms. We're gonna interlace your fingers, press those outer blades down, and right away here, bring the shoulders away from the ears by pressing down, tuck the toes under, and we'll come up. You just see where you go. This is a nice hamstring stretch. You can bend the knees if you need, or walk your feet closer to your elbows. Getting a nice forward bend. Head is off the mat. You can let it go or look forward. One more breath here. Push your chest back. And we're going to take knees back to the mat. Child's pose with your arms by your sides. And just take a few breaths, really releasing the back body. Good. And then go ahead and bring your arms forward so you can press back up into table and C. Now we're going to have playful dolphins. Dolphins are playful. They don't all look the same, uniform bodies. So just seeing how your back feels, maybe today you take a shorter dolphin and keep the knees bent, lifting the tail up, or add a leg up. Maybe bending the knee. Maybe taking a little walk to the side. But no matter what, we're really feeling that power in the shoulders. Lower back is in a forward bend. Upper back is in a back bend. So letting your dolphin swim and play today. Building some strength in the upper body. Let's do 3 more breaths. If you lifted one leg up, try your other side. You're taking that walk to the side, go around to the other side. I'm going to do one more big breath. Eventually, you're coming back through the center and back either into your half dog or a child's pose. Any variation. Release the shoulders. Big breaths out. Good. And we're going to come back up into table to stretch out our shoulders. So let's take thread the needle pose. Inhale, right arm up, open, lean back. Exhale, take your twist. Maybe tucking the chin under if that feels good, but lean into your right shoulder. This arm could come overhead or to the lower back. Reach through the right hand, and then we'll come out by pressing through your left. Inhale, back and open. Good. Exhale, release. And let yourself move around, whatever feels good. Second side. Inhale, open your wings. Good. Exhale, thread the needle. Keep reaching through that left hand, trying to glide the left shoulder blade under. 2 breaths. Good. And we'll press through your right hand. Inhale, come back up. Exhale. Nice. And then your choice, you can simply just have a seat. You could come back into downward dog and try to jump through, or maybe just a little lift up in our pendant pose. But feel the pelvic floor, and we'll have a seat in Barakonasana. Good. Let's rock a little bit side to side. Feel those sits bones grounding. We're going to do lots of hip openers after what we did today. So starting with the inner hips, exhale, head towards your feet. And use your head like a weight. You can even pull your head down gently. Good. And then we'll slowly inhale, come on up. So let's extend your left leg forward. Hug that right leg in and just rock your baby gently. If your hip is open, you can go for that opposite foot to inner elbow, hugging the shin in. Whatever feels good for you. But we'll take our hip opener instead of Janu Shirshasana today. Ankle to the top of the left thigh. We're going to bend the left leg. So side view here, you can really use your hands to wedge. If it's easy, keep coming in with that heel. Maybe wrapping around both shins. If you love to balance, you could take your balance here. Whatever feels appropriate for this knee. Last big breath. Good. We're going to hold that shin again. Extend the leg long. Heading into our twist. So we'll put your right foot to the outer left hip or thigh. Wrap. Lift out of that lower back and take your twist. Looking over the back shoulder, maybe pointing the chin down if that feels okay on your neck. Trying to sit up out of that lower back and we'll release ribs, shoulders, head. Let's scoop under the thigh, interlace your hands for one high kick here today. Pranayama preparation, and we'll lower the leg. Good, and let's shake that leg in and out. Release any tension in the hip flexor. Second side. So rocking the baby, just letting that weight of the leg drop. Maybe taking foot to opposite elbow and hugging it. And always protecting your knee here. Sometimes if you flex your foot, that keeps that ankle and knee a little bit on a more comfortable plane. And then we'll take ankle to the top of the thigh. You might get a stretch here without even bending the knee, or start to head into your pose, using your hands to wedge or taking whatever feels good on that outer left hip. Breathing out. Yes, and then we'll slowly release your bottom leg, that's your right, head into our twist. Wrapping and spiraling. And feeling that one in that IT band, maybe bring your chin down if you did so on the other side. Last two breaths. Good, and we'll release ribs, shoulders, head, and let's scoop under the thigh, lifting that knee up, trying on our hamstring stretch wherever that is for you, and we'll lower the leg. Good, so before we do our big one, let's take either Sukhasana with a forward fold, Fire log with a forward fold, or Gomukhasana. That kind of is a compromise. Whatever feels good on both hips, feeling this one right behind those sits bones. We'll come forward. Nice and easy. Big, big breaths out. Good. And then use your inhale to come on up. Being gentle with that lower back. We're going to change through boat. Any size boat you want. You could tap your feet or take the big one. Just protect the low back because we did lots of strengthening down there today. And we'll change sides. So left leg's going to come in front or on top if you're doing the fire log, or Gomukhasana. Feeling both hips down into the floor, we'll come forward. Big, big breaths out. And the last breath, just notice if you're still clenching anywhere, really melt through the exhalation. We'll inhale, come on up. Good, and we're gonna skip our boat. This time just shake out the legs. Good, and we're gonna head on down to your back. So if you'd like, you could have a pillow close by. If your back is already talking to you, we'll end up taking our Shavasana at the end with a pillow behind your knees, or legs up the wall, or legs on a bed or a couch, just so you can recover your back. And we're gonna bend the knees, hold the shins, round your back like our hare pose, and just rock a little bit side to side. Tucking the chin in and really releasing between your shoulder blades. Heavy. We'll reach for your outer thighs. Take a nice slow curl down. And then when the head gets down to the mat, we're gonna reverse. Curl up, chin to chest. See how slowly you can go today. We're only gonna do 3. So pressing your back into the floor, trying to keep those toes down. Good. And then again, curling down. Try to go vertebrae by vertebrae. Same thing coming up, breathing out. You can grab those outer thighs to help pull you up. Good, last round. Wrapping those low belly muscles. Breathing out to come up. Beautiful. And then this time when you come up, we're gonna release your head between your knees, just round your back. Good, and we'll sit up, straightening the legs. We're gonna come on down. So you could take another slow curl down, flex the feet, reach your arms overhead when you get down there, and just pull your body as long as you can. Good, and we're gonna look at our warrior 3 last time on our back. So we'll hug the right knee in. Extend that right leg straight up 90 degrees. So feel energy coming out of that right heel. Arms are gonna reach overhead. Press your core down. Flex that left foot too, and imagine left foot's pressing into the wall. You're standing on the ceiling with the right foot. And then we'll reach your arms for the calf or thigh. Pull yourself into a deep hamstring stretch. We'll maybe bring head to knee if you want to work your core. Good. And we'll slowly lower shoulders and head. Open your leg to your right, taking that inner hip stretch. Keeping some integrity here in the belly and the core, so your tailbone's lengthening down, lower back stays long. Exhale, cross the leg over the midline and take your twist. Maybe you start by keeping both hips down, then you can come all the way over. Opening the lower back and outer hip. Last 2 breaths out. Good. Use your exhale to come back up. Nice. I will lower that leg all the way down. Turning it in and out when you get down there. Second side. Left knee comes in. When you're ready, extending that leg so it's perpendicular to the ceiling, arms reach overhead. Press through both feet. Trying to take any arch out of the lower back. And just take an imprint here of what this feels like in the body to have the hips and shoulders square on the mat. We'll reach for the calf. Taking your hamstring stretch, maybe adding the head. And just appreciating your strong legs and back today. We'll lower, open the leg to your left. Good. Try not to let that back arch. Keep pressing the navel down. Good. And then when you feel ready, move the leg back, up, and across the midline for your twist. And we're just staying about 5 breaths in each pose. Breathing into that outer hip and lower back. Good. Starting to slow down, enjoying that warmth from our twist. We'll come back up with the leg. Beautiful. And lower. Good. And then we'll take one more pose before our rest. Let's move into our Setu Bandhasana, or if it would feel better on your back, you can go right into Halasana, plow pose, which is a deeper forward fold. No matter what, we're gonna bring your heart up, bridge or plow. Try to keep space. Even in bridge here, I'm not pinching down here. I'm trying to lengthen the tailbone down between the knees or up, as the case may be. Could also lift the heels up. That'll make more room. Good. And then if you're in plow pose, you were getting a bigger stretch in the lower back. So really lift the sits bones up, and we'll all eventually lower those hips using your core muscles. Good. And either take diamond with the legs in the air, which is again gonna lengthen that low back, or diamond with the legs on the floor, much deeper inner hip opener. Throat is easy. Heart center is glowing open after that. And just try to drink that breath all the way down to the lower belly. Yeah, maybe sighing out through your mouth. Beautiful. So we're going to move towards our Shavasana shape. If you need to do a little gentle rocking or child's pose, or maybe another bent knee twist, take any transition that's gonna be refreshing and lengthening for that low back, because I realize my back feels it too. I taught this class last night, so I'm really feeling it. Maybe head to knees. You could put your bolster behind the knees or segue over to the wall today for your Shavasana. And I recommend Viparita Karani, either with straight legs or even bent knees. That feels really good on the lower back. You could do a diamond too. Any pose that feels appropriate for you. And then taking your time to make all those last adjustments right to left so you can settle into stillness. And let's take a moment to feel grateful for all that you already are and have, and all the things that you can do, like practice yoga together with our community, like taking a clean, clear breath. And with this warmth of gratitude, start to melt through any tension or tightness, letting that go as you breathe out. Feel the muscles in your face release. Relax your head and neck. Feel the strong shoulders. Let go and the shoulder blades widen. Allow your back to melt into the floor. Feel the hips and belly heavy and soft. Imagine your legs like two rivers flowing out through the soles of the feet. If you'd like, visualize breathing in your favorite color light. Breathing out gray or brown air. Allowing each round of breath to transform you. And when you feel ready, just start to notice the air on the surface of the skin, the temperature, the quality of your breath. And coming into the present moment, wiggle your fingers and toes. Imagine swirling them, excuse me, through warm water. And take any stretch or yawn that would feel good. And when you feel ready, just curl over with your knees bent to your right side. We'll come up to a comfortable seat, feeling both strong and soft at the same time. In other words, balanced. And in your seat, feel those strong muscles in the lower back. Lift your spine up, soften your shoulders down. And we'll bring the palms together, sealing in the practice. Om Mani Padme Hum. Compassion to all sentient beings. Shanti. Peace. Namaste.